How's it going, guys? Cody back again, dropping yet another video. Another story in the Telegraph, guys. Bloody Telegraph are smashing it at the moment, aren't they? This is a story about hit squads that have been sent into over 100 prisons to seize drugs, phones and drones. Link in the description below like I always do. Let's get to the story. Hit squads of specially trained officers are to be sent into more than 100 prisons across Britain to seize drugs, drones and mobile phones. The Ministry of Justice is to recruit and train 100 new staff for squads to combat gangs and organised crime who are blamed for inciting record levels of violence in jails. And there's also them prison officers, guys, that bring contraband in, which also adds to the problem. But they never speak about this. It's always prisoners and prisoners' families that apparently are behind all this. The tactics have now been restricted to the country's 8 highest security prisons, but will be extended to all the 100+ male closed prisons. The teams will use the latest mobile phone detecting technology, search dogs, specialist cameras to get into the pipes and scanners, metal detectors to seek out drugs, mobile phones and drones. Officials say they're engaged in a cat and mouse game, with inmates who are deploying increasingly sophisticated tactics to hide their illegal wares, such as hollowing out furniture to hold drugs or mobile phones, hiding miniature phones in electrical equipment, or down toilet pipes. Announcing the measure today, David Gauke, the Justice Secretary, said, "The dedicated search team will be deployed across the entire closed adult male estate to effectively bust drug dealers and gangs who trade in contraband in prisons." The ability to have people who day in, day out search cells, know every trick in the book, have seen it all before, is a big advantage. I'm keen to take on the criminal kingpins to do everything we can to disrupt their activity. That is why I'm also concentrated on Financial Crime Unit. Officials estimate there are more than 6,500 inmates with links to organised crime in England and Wales out of a total prison population of 83,000+. The teams will rely on intelligence to target suspects, including those who are known to deliberately breach their licences on release so they can return to jail. Pilot searches in the past few months netted more than 140 illegal phones. Evidence found through their searches will now be used to support disciplinary action or criminal prosecutions that could extend their time in jail. The Ministry of Justice has also introduced airport-style scanners, phone blocking technology and the Financial Crime Unit to target crime gangs operating in prisons. Mr. Gauke said it is a clearly significant challenge that we face. The existence of organised crime is clear. The evidence that it is the heart of a lot of our problems, directly or indirectly, is also clear. The £4.3 million move follows increase in violence in prisons fueled by drugs. It's not just drugs though, is it? It's mental health as well, and there's many different factors. Figures last month show that there were 32,559 assaults in the past 12 months, on average 1 every 20 minutes. The highest on record and 20% on the previous year. Of the 72% were prisoner-on-prisoner attacks, while 9,485 were attacks on staff, a figure that rose by 27% in the 12 months. In the 12 months to March, there was 13,119 incidents where drugs were found in prisons, a rise of nearly a quarter or 23% compared to the previous year. Discoveries of mobile phones are on the rise as well, up 15% to 10,643 incidents in 2017-2018. Recruitment into the search team has started and is expected to continue into the new year. It is now part of a recruitment drive to counter rising violence, with prison officers' numbers at the highest level since 2012. There are currently 22,319 prison officers in post, an increase of 4,364 prison officers since 2016. Guys, let me break it down. For you, you've got, certain prisons that have got police officers that work within the prisons. You've got the corruption units within the prisons. You've got security, right? You've got the Mufti squad, right? And now they're going to this extreme. Guys, they might have found this amount of phones, but how many do you think are still out there? I'll let you guys answer that in the comment section below. The truth is, guys, right? The prisons, violence in prisons isn't just down to drugs. Yes, where you've got contraband, you've got debt, and where you've got debt, you've got fear, intimidation, bullying and violence. We know this. How many prisoners lash out because they're paranoid schizophrenics and they've got mental health issues? A lot. Self-harm's a massive problem. Mental health's a massive problem. Drugs and phones. Yes, did they go in prison? 1,000,000%. I tell you, it doesn't do any favours for other prisoners. These prisoners that are recording themselves in jail and uploading them to Insta with hashtags of HMP, Her Majesty's Prison Service, jail life, pen life, A journalist goes onto Twitter, or a prison officer from security types in hashtag HMP. Your videos come up, people. Your faces are showing, not all of you, because some of you clued up. But there's a lot of people there. Well, it brings it on top for other prisoners. Yeah, we know what goes on within prisons. Not everyone in prison uses mobile phones to arrange parcel drops. It does go on, of course it goes on. And get people done in and stuff like that. But a lot of prisoners use mobile phones as a means of contacting their friends or family on the out. Why? Because the prison phone is so damn expensive. And if you're working in prison, you can earn 25, 27. I think the most I've heard is £28 a week that you can earn in prison. If you put that on credit as well as your toiletries and stuff, if your IEP lets you spend that much, you're going to spend it. Credit, you put a tenner on your credit. Do you know what I mean? It's cheaper to, if you're doing a long time in prison, it's cheaper to get a mobile and buy one than it is to use the prison phone. It's not about evading security and stuff like that. Like I say, those that are dealing and doing wrong, 1,000,000% they are. But what about those that are just using it to speak to their friends or family or their kids? And then there's the potential introduction of Skype being introduced into our prisons, which is a great initiative. I hope it rolls out, but again, if it does get rolled out, it's not consistent. These hit squads can go into jails, guys, and they can hit people up, and obviously it's going to be a security-led, intelligence-led operation. They're going to go in mob-handed, drugs, dogs and stuff. The mobile phone blocking signals, guys, I've not come across it. And if you look at the stories about Instagram and like social media and these prisoners on dating apps and stuff, and Insta and Facebook and all these stuff that are posting videos and pictures from jail, the phone blocking technology isn't there, is it? They've always said it. For years they've said it, right? Now, like I said, I've been in Strangeways, I've been in Forest Bank twice, but I've never come across phone blocking technology. Phones are part of the prison life. They are. Just like spices. And if they do bring in, let's say that they bring out this blanket. I always got told that these signal blockers would interfere with the radios. That's why I got told they wouldn't bring them in. But there's obviously ways and means, technology with advancements and stuff. They probably will be able to bring phone technology in eventually. It's expensive. If they do bring them in, there's a little thing called satellite phones out there. Satellite phones are quite big, to be fair. But all you need to be is put the aerial up, stand near the window so you've got that, so you can get near to, because it bounces off the satellites. And that will be the new thing. Then what will happen is when the satellite phones are being used because these mobile phones are not working, these satellite phone makers will start to think, right, there's a market here. Let's make them smaller. That's the way it's going to go. And then you'll get little tiny, like thingy phones with a little aerial, and then you're on the phone again. There is always, these businesses are not stupid. They know that there's money to be made. And do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that. Why do you think these little HMP phones and the Zancos and stuff and the Beat the Boss Jet phones are doing the rounds in jail? Small. Mobile phones are big, but they get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Easy to secrete, easy to hide, bam. Simple, guys. These hit squads, again, you've got to think they've already got all these things in place, and these prison, all it is, it's a game of cat and mouse, guys. And unfortunately for the prison, we are the mouse for the most part. Simple as that. It's easy to say, guys. Let me know what you guys think. It's not about what I think, it's about what you think. Let me know. Link in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.